Hey everybody, welcome back to Drush 9, a quick primer for the site builder. Here in part 2, we're actually going to start using commands. We're only going to look at 3, but we're going to look at a few options around commands and then get our hands wet and get going. So here we are back in my favorite IDE, Visual Studio Code, and we are using Doxel. So all of my commands are going to start with fin just to invoke Doxel, and then Drush to invoke Drush. And if I just type that, it gives me a list of all of the commands I could run. Now, I'm not going in a particular order other than when it makes sense to me based on how I use Drush. But we're going to look at core status, which I could also run as just status or just st. We're also going to look at caching, and we're going to look at some stuff under users. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let's clear this out. So the first thing we're going to do is a Drush status. So I could type out the full path name of it, core status. In fact, I'm going to throw an H flag here. And you can see here's the full help menu of what Drush get status does. And then here we can see what it does. It's an overview of the environment. And if we just go ahead and run it without that help menu, without the -H, we can run that -H on any command. So if we ever get stuck and we're like, well, what's available for us to do here? We can always look at that. I wanted to run it first because, well, here it is. Here is the actual command run. I could have run it with status or st as well, or core dash status. A lot of these you can do colon or a dash because, well, they wanted to be kind to people that wanted it with a dash. And here we go. There's basic information like what themes I'm using and what my OS is. However, I can get very specific with this and just say, just give me the status of things like these fields, or put it in this format when you come back. Here I just printed it to screen, but if I wanted it in a CSV or something more usable like a JSON, I could easily say format it like that. Now, I'm not going to do all of that. I'll leave it to you to explore to run that command. But that's the first command, is status. Just tell me what's going on. If we scroll back up, the second one we're going to look at is cache. Drupal has a lot of caches that are very, very heavy-handed because they want to make everything very performant. So whenever we make changes to a YAML file or a template or a lot of things behind the scenes, we're going to go ahead and instead of cache clearing, we're going to rebuild the site. It just refreshes all the code, refreshes all the caches, and it gets us to the state where we want to be, where we think we want to be when we clear the cache. So rather than going through the admin screens and hitting the clear cache button, we can just say drush cr or cache rebuild. They do the same thing. I only ever use drush cr, so clear the screen, and I'm just going to run that drush cr. And remember, the only reason I'm typing fin is because I'm in Doxel. If you're like an Aquia Dev desktop, you probably don't need to. But I'm not going to speed this up at all. This is just waiting for the cache to clear on the site that's up and running. And there you go. So there you go. In just a few seconds, we've cleared the cache out, and we can now have our latest, greatest changes in a file reflected on our site. So I haven't done anything that needed that, and I didn't want to go and like bog this down with an example. And again, this is something you can put in your scripts. So if something gets modified programmatically, or you create a new block programmatically within something, you can just go ahead, let's clear out the cache and make that block available to everything that can see it. The last one we're going to look at is something under users. And here it is under user login. This is one of the handiest things an administrator can have. What it does is gives you a one-time login for your user one by default, or you could make one-time logins for any of your users. A very handy thing to do. So I'm just going to run it real quick. Then drush ULI. And here's what it gives me back. So I can take this and then go to an incognito window and simply paste that ULI in, or that URL in, I should say, and it will log me in as the administrator on this site. Here I am, ready to go. Now, to be able to log in as another user, well, let's just go ahead and ask the help menu, what should we do here? So let's just run the -H flag. This is something you can throw all the time. It's one of those wonderful tools that just tells you how to use it within the tool. So here we go, some examples that explain exactly what to do. So if I wanted to be as fancy as open a Firefox web browser and log in as user with the email address drushexample.org, which doesn't exist, I could do it like that. This is really handy when you're doing things programmatically, that I need a user to log in and do a thing. Well, rather than having to figure out how am I going to get in there, I just simply generate a login that's for one-time use just to get in there and do it. So user login, user colon login, user dash login, or just ULI. And that's it for this video. I just, again, really quick, hands-on, run status, run some cache rebuilds, and run ULI to be able to log in as a user. And you're well on your way to mastering Drush. Let's come back next time and we'll look at a few more commands. Thanks.